Right, so based on kind of what we talked about today on the call, when you feel like you're stuck in this situation, and this sense of being stuck is causing all these other problems, right? No time with your family, shitty money, and also that physical pain you were talking about in your job, right?
Mm.
Tell me that you kind of want to change the situation. We've been thinking about changing for the last 2 years. So, like, tell me, Freddie, over those last 2 years, have we actually tried anything to maybe change this situation and, get ourselves to a better position?
Uh, no, I haven't. I haven't, to be honest with you. No.
Okay, bro. And what do you sort of feel like has maybe been holding you back from, you know, actually making that change? Because obviously 2 years is a pretty long time. Would you agree?
Yeah, it is a long time. I guess I've just been really busy. A lot's been going on. That's all. Just
Mhm.
been, yeah, really busy.
I'm guessing you kind of mean, you're busy with your job. Yeah. You told me how you were working sometimes 14-hour shifts. Kind of guessing that's where that's coming from.
Yeah, and like one of my family members is super sick, so I'm sort of taking care of them as well.
Fuck. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, man. But you have a lot going on. I get it, right? But like for you, Freddie, like say for example, you're not working, you're not taking care of the family member that's sick, right? You maybe have a day off, or maybe it's the weekend where you're not working as much. Whenever you actually have free time for yourself, what are you kind of doing with that free time?
Normally, I'm just like sitting down and watching TV, sort of just relaxing
Mm.
because I'm just constantly on my feet.
Hmm. So is that just kind of relaxing because of how intense maybe your week was before that with work, with taking care of the family member that's sick as well?
Yeah.
Hmm. So like for you, Freddie, then, right? Whenever you kind of told me that you don't have any time whatsoever, that you feel like you're too busy to kind of, dedicate time to actually start making a change. Do you feel like it's the fact that you don't have the time, or that you've just been using your free time to do other things? Like, for example, relax, watch TV.
Probably using my free time to do other things.
Hmm. Okay. Because like for you, Freddie, right? See all those problems that you mentioned earlier, this hamster wheel of being stuck in this cycle of just these problems repeating themselves on a loop, right? Where does actually fixing those problems lie on like a sort of list of priorities for you right now?
I want to say pretty high, but I guess if I'm not doing anything, that they're not at the top of my list.
Hmm. Do you mind if I share a quick perspective with you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Let's say, for example, right? And if you don't mind me asking, who, for example, is this sick family member? Is it like your mom, your
Uh, yes, it's my mum. It's my mum.
okay. So let's say, for example, you're in work, right? You get a call from the hospital that your mum has just been rushed to the hospital because she's had an accident, she's fallen over, right? Would you, for example, tell the doctor that you're too busy right now with work, or maybe it's the case that you're relaxing watching TV? Or, I mean, would you find time to go and actually see your mum, in the hospital?
Definitely see my mum. No doubt about it.
Come on, why would you sort of do that?
Because she's someone very important to me,
Hmm.
and I'd like to make sure she was all right.
Hmm. So, I guess, like, being with her at a time that's important would be important to you, right? That would be a priority.
Mm.
Hmm. So I guess, man, for you, right? All these things that you told me about, you told me that they're pretty important problems for you to solve, like today, right? So I guess if they have been so important, what do you feel like's been actually stopping you if it hasn't been the time to sort of make those things a priority and find time to fix them?
Sorry, repeat the question. What? What?
what do you feel like has been holding you back
holding me back.
from actually finding the time to fix these problems?
Probably like I just don't think it. I don't know. I'm scared of it not working out.
Mhm. Whenever you kind of say that, you're scared of it not working out. What do you sort of mean by that?
Well, I just feel like I have a lot to risk. If I was to go all in, maybe like
Mhm.
my mom, like I said, my family, my own family, and yeah, just the relationship I have with them people, or the time that I'm spending with them people.
Mm. So are you kind of scared of essentially putting your time into something and it not working out?
Yeah, and like missing out when I could have been spending time like with my family
Mm.
or my mom.
Mm. Mm. I mean, don't get me wrong, that makes complete sense, right? You're telling me that you don't want to put your time into something and it not work out. Essentially, you'd be missing out on more time with your mum and it not being even worth it in the long run, right? If it didn't work out. But Freddie, right? You go to the gym, don't you?
Yeah,
Easy. So, like, say whenever you go to the gym, right? Are you kind of sacrificing time there, for example? Just a random question.
yeah, yeah, I am.
Hmm. Okay. Because, like, in the gym, right? Let's say you do sacrifice time and actually go. What do you feel like it comes down to actually see the results that you want in the gym?
Consistency and effort.
Hmm. So would I be right in saying then that consistency and effort is the key to seeing results in the gym then, just like you said?
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
Hmm. So I guess Freddie, let's say we tie that back to here, right? You told me that you're kind of scared of wasting your time and things not working out, right? What do you feel like we could do then, based on what you just told me about the gym? What do you feel like we could do with this situation to make sure that we actually do see results and that we don't waste our time?
uh, I guess put my time into something more productive.
What do you sort of mean by that, man?
Or instead of, maybe even cancelling on the gym just so I have a little bit of extra time with my family and mum. Just putting, my time into, you know, getting out of this problem.
Hmm. You're completely right in saying that. Taking the time to actually try and fix this problem, right? That's the right way to go about it. But how do you feel like we could actually overcome this fear that you talked about? You know, not have that worry that we're not going to see results and not, overcome the fact that this has been holding us back.
Sort of just like you said, like it's the only thing that's holding me back.
Hmm.
So I feel like that should be like it's holding me back. So I feel like that's enough for me to overcome it because it's stopping me from getting where I want to be.
Right. Okay. Because I'm just trying to kind of tie the situation of talking about the gym that you used earlier, right? You told me the words, I believe it was consistency and dedication guarantees you results in the gym if you actually do show up, right? So, like, in order to overcome that fear, do you feel like we would need to actually be consistent and dedicate ourselves so that we do give ourselves the best chance at getting those results that we talked about?
Yeah,
Hmm. But I mean, you
definitely.
don't have to agree with me. Why do you sort of think that, yeah?
Because, I've seen the results in the gym just from doing them.
Mm,
So, and I mean, it's the same with everything in
mm,
learning.
mm.
So, why would it be any different doing this?
Exactly. Exactly. It's just applying the same principle, right? But to a different situation.
Mm,
Because, like, right now, Freddie, right? this kind of fear that we talked about, where do you feel like not overcoming that fear up until this point, where has that sort of got you?
In the exact same place,
And what do you sort of mean by that?
like not doing anything, like in the exact same place, like nothing changing.
Mm, mm. So, I mean, let's say nothing does change. Let's say you don't overcome this fear the same way as you haven't for the last 2 years. Let's give it another 2 years. Where do you feel like you would see yourself then if we continue not to change?
In the same space, in the same place with just problems.
Mm. And do you feel like those problems are going to look the same as they look like right now, or do you feel like those problems are only going to grow and get bigger?
Uh, well, it could do either. There's still problems at the end of the day, but if they get worse,
Mm.
they'll just be extremely bad.
So, like, is that something that, we're kind of willing to settle for, Freddie?
No, I'm not. Nah.
I mean, why not? The problems, you never know, they might solve themselves, no?
No, because I don't think my problems would, and I think I have to, be a man and sort of take action and put one foot in front of the other.
Mm. Because right now there's two options for you, right? There's the option to be the Freddie that you have been for the last 2 years, right? The Freddie that doesn't overcome the fear that's been holding him back and ultimately allows his problems to stay how they are or maybe even get worse, right? And then over here, there's the Freddie that I'm going to take the words out of your mouth, Mo. Actually becomes a man, overcomes that fear, and does give himself the best attempt at solving those problems.
Mm.
I'm going to put the ball in your court here. Which Freddie do you see yourself being going forward?
Being the man and solving these problems.
Hmm. But why? Why not just be the comfortable version of Freddie that we have been over the last 2 years?
Because like they'll just get worse, probably.
Hmm.
Or at the end of the day, there'll still be problems. Like I said, like I just want them gone.
You use the word probably there. I mean, these problems that we talked about getting worse, like, is that a hypothetical or is that what reality is going to look like if we don't take action?
Reality is going to look like if we don't take action.
Hmm. So, like, in order to actually take that action, right, to start overcoming this fear that's been holding us back, what do you sort of feel like, you would need to be able to help you overcome that fear and actually step into this kind of new world of the online space?
I'd like someone to sort of be with me during